And welcome everybody to another edition of the NSCAC Presents Behind the Bench. Today we have Tony Ferrara and Joey Lombardi. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to our podcast. Today we have an interesting and a topic that I think is always on everybody's mind. We're going to be discussing navigating the Canadian coaching license program and where to direct our star players within the Canadian talent system. So Tony, Joey, welcome. Happy New Year, and I hope everything's going well.
All right, Valerio, thank you very much for all help. Thank you for joining us and you conversations before, on the side. But I've been looking forward to chatting with you about the coaching licensing program, but more interesting, the
because internet's a bit laggy, eh, Valerio?
Yeah. Tony, you there? We may have lost Tony.
No problem, Valerio. Yeah, no, I could kind of pick up where Tony wanted to start off. Is I've had quite a diverse experience working across men's, women's national teams, and then getting involved in coach development. So today we'll go through a bit of that experience. At the end too, I'd love to get some questions from the audience. But I know Tony's got some introductory questions that will really guide us. And I think Tony, you're back online.
Yes, I am, Joey.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we'll get started then. So we'll start with the REX program, if you don't mind, and then from there we'll go to the national program. So with the REX program, as we discussed, there is really two different paths, for the women. Well, first of all, what is the REX program? What is the Regional XL program?
Yeah, I'll start with the women's side because that's where it all kind of conceptualized and started. The goal of the REX program was to bring high quality daily training environments into the provincial pathways. So aligning our provincial pathway to national teams and kind of having a bridge program, because what we were finding was there was a big jump from what was currently in place to then coming into a youth national team and going to a youth qualification tournament World Cup. So we wanted something to bridge that. So we came up with the concept of regional Excel centers across the country. And this was all based kind of similar to club licensing, where you had certain standards that the provincial bodies had to meet in order to be licensed by Canada Soccer to run a REX program, whether that was coaching standards, sports science, training facilities, training contacts, alignment with curriculum. Those were some of the areas that we really wanted to filter down. So again, it was to try to bring those national team concepts, but in a daily environment. So players were getting those contacts week in, week out, and providing it for who we felt were those real high potential players that were showing potential quality to be called up for Canada.
Right, and the two programs, the men's program and the women's program, or the boys and girls program, were quite different from each other. On the girls program, the CSA took ownership of the program basically, and they took on the responsibility of developing the players, while with the men's program, it was kind of relegated, if you will, to TFC and Vancouver and Montreal and the regions like that. Am I right on that?
Yeah, and so that was the women's side. And the women's side, we started bringing in players as young as 13, 14, till they would graduate out of the program at U18, most likely into a university. And in some scenarios, a couple have gone on straight into the pro pathway. But on the men's side, we took a different strategy when it came to Regional Excel, because the landscape was different, Tony. And, like you mentioned, you have Montreal, you have Vancouver, and you have Toronto with MLS franchises running, and investing a lot in youth development. We knew CPL was coming down the pipeline too. That was pretty much over the line at the time that I came on board. So we took a different approach, was to still align national team development and curriculum frameworks down to provincial bodies and provincial teams, but also targeting the community level. So it's more of a coach education program where we come in and we run workshops, which I'm sure some of the attendees today would have been on. John, Mauro, Andrew, Eric, and the team sharing, all their experience. That's part of the Regional Excel strategy. The other piece when it came to talent identification was going around and running mini camps. So we would run a mini camp in Ontario, run a mini camp in Montreal, one run in Nova Scotia. And these would be like 3-day projects where you'd run 2 training sessions and then have an ID game at the end. It was that simple how it was designed. And we did the same thing at the MLS clubs. We come in and do these integration camps, as we labeled it. So it was more of basically to simplify. The men's side was a coach education scheme with little projects integrated into the provincial pathway.
Right, and how successful was the whole program on the girls' side? We'll talk about the girls first. Was there, were you able to identify a lot of good quality players, youth players, 13, 14, and have they gone on to play professionally maybe, or graduated to their national team program?
Thank you for watching this short preview video from the National Soccer Coaches Association of Canada. To see the full video, plus have access to hundreds of other coaching videos, blogs, webinars, and podcasts, plus free and discounted coach education courses and other soccer merchandise, plus to have exclusive access to register for all future NSCAC conventions, both live and online, click on the link below to become a member of the NSCAC today. Also, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as your continued support allows us to continue to provide coach education and coach development resources to soccer coaches across Canada and worldwide. Thank you again for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at future NSCAC events.